Yayo, CJ Savage on the beat, Chef whipping it. Hey y'all, it's Lizzie Yayo with Keepin in the Bando, and I got a singer in the building. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
How y'all doing? I'm Sharikas, man. Born and raised Lawrenceburg, North Carolina, residing in 2-6. Doing what I do.
And a lot of 2-6 shit going on.
All day.
So, how do you feel like between Laurinburg and 2-6, like with the music scene? Is it any different?
I'm gonna be honest with you. 2-6 has a way bigger active music scene. Like Laurinburg, we got a lot of artists. Like I started doing music in Laurinburg, so we had a lot of labels, man. From Yard Style back in the day, then you had Pay Your Dues. You got a lot of little groups down there now. But as far as the music scene itself, everybody tends to migrate this way because Laurinburg's small. So most people they go is probably towards like Florence, South Carolina, McCall, do something. But 2-6 pretty much is taking care of these areas. So.
Okay, well, a lot of 2-6 shit, and we welcome all of you guys. I've been doing music for a while here, and I'm seeing that people are coming together.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, cause it don't make sense to have a bunch of people that have the drive, and it's like you have information, I have information. We both need to put our information together so we both can thrive. But it's like everybody's like, oh well, I don't want them going better than me, or I don't want nobody going up before me, and it don't make sense to me. It's like we all need to eat together. That's why we are not succeeding when it comes to music. That's why everybody else gets to laugh at us because they know we got some of the hottest artists in the state, like period, regardless when it comes to music. But we still beefing and going at each other when we need to build a family and go take over somebody else's city, some other platform. So they be like, oh, yeah, they ain't nothing to play with.
Facts. And I agree. I know that there was a show this past weekend.
Oh yeah.
Seeing the variety of people from Fayetteville to go to New Bern, that was a difference.
Yeah.
Because normally people either they make the decision whether they're going to go or they're not going to go because there's opportunities out there. I know myself give opportunities for a person to leave. But it seems as though it may take for people's hands to be held to pull them.
I feel where you're coming from on that.
Like, come on, y'all, let's go.
I don't think it's hand pulling, and this is what we have to realize as artists, as business people, as an adult, as men and women. Everybody can't go where you're destined to go. So at some point, you're gonna have to realize that okay, you might go outside the city, you might go outside the state, and the same people that's been with you from the beginning seem like they falling behind. Don't mean they don't support you. When you elevate, some people just can't hang. They can't hang with you. And we have to understand that. So we have to, that's what happens is that I'll elevate, you'll elevate. Our team's down here. So because we're here and we're waiting to try to get our team somewhere where they don't need to be, we have to sometimes realize that, okay, the pieces of the puzzle are right here. Sometimes you have extra pieces to a puzzle. They don't go to that puzzle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's how I look at it. Everything that's happening now is happening for a reason. And I'm going to take hold to it. I'm going to latch on to it. And hopefully we all can get together and build something, because the last thing I want to do is see you struggle and I have the means, but just because it's going to put you farther than me, I'm going to hold out from you. That don't make sense, because I never know, me giving you the information, when you open the door, you might reach back and grab my hand and pull me through.
Most definitely.
So that's how I feel.
Right. Well, I know I can speak for myself. I'm pulling everybody with me.
Don't do that.
Not everybody. Everybody that has helped me to pave the way. Let's just put it like that. Or has given me, for instance, that knowledge that I needed. That didn't withhold the information, because there's a lot of withholding information out here.
A lot.
And then when the people realizes, oh, well, how did that person find that out? Then they go recruiting other people for them not to fuck with that person. But when really that person is the person that's trying to help everybody else to get to that same point that you don't want that person to get to. But we're not going to preach. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's all about drawing your own conclusion. One thing I want 2-6 to understand is draw your own conclusion of people. If somebody tell you that this is a Jenkins promoter and you ain't never been to one of the events, how can you say that they're a Jenkins promoter? If they say this person's engineer quality is not good, if you never went to record it in and gave them the time to record and mix your song, you can't sit here and talk about somebody's craft or what they do. But if you've been there and you've done that, and then you still choose not to open your mouth and try to offer them any type of help with what they got going on, then you still don't need to open your mouth.
Right. Keep your mouth closed.
Hey, I mean, one day they're gonna get it. One day we're gonna get it. One day we're gonna flourish, and we're gonna take over.
Period. I believe it. I believe, and that's why we're doing this here. You know, so that the people are able to express themselves. You know, there's a lot of platforms that has been made. You know, and a lot of people, they pick and choose on who they want to be a part of, you know, however they decide to move along. But with this platform, it's for everybody.
Right.
And everybody has something to say. No one's more important than the next person. So, in this entertainment field, what is it that you do?
The question is, what is it that I don't do?
That.
So me, I do some of everything. I do music, I do writing, I do producing, I do film, photography, graphics. I do it all because of the fact that I don't want to put out a bullshit product. Excuse my language. But I don't want to put out anything that's not going to benefit me when it comes down to my music. And so I went to Full Sail for recording when I was in the Army. Then when I got out, I started going to Los Angeles Film School for film, learning how to do film and graphics, because at the end of the day, I want to be able to have artists around me that I can provide these services to and do a good job. But at the same time, I have the equipment to do my own stuff. As long as I got somebody to operate it, I can edit and do everything myself. So it's just about being a one-stop shop, that not necessarily saying, okay, you got it, you know how to do everything. If I have the means and the tools, and you know how you specialize in video, and and this person specializes in music, you might not have the funds for the equipment. I got it. So why not we put our heads together and we all benefit from each other? Mm-hmm. That don't make sense, but hey.
Some people just so grasping.
Hey, let them do what they do. That's why it's like a hamster wheel.
And you know, there's a lot of structure going on as far as what you just explained. Do you think that structure comes a lot from being in the military?
Yes, definitely. Because I don't play. When it comes down to business and it comes down to structure and time frames, that's one of the biggest things I am. Like, if you tell me 12 o'clock and I don't see you as a business owner or promoter at 11:30, because I'm going to be there at 11:30, then I have a problem with that. I'm not going to say anything, but that lets me know that if you can't make your own time frame for whatever the case may be, then that's going to be on you. However, people have to realize is that if you say we're going to be there at 12, mm-hmm. you might have called me and say, hey, I need you to make sure everybody's there at 12. But you got somebody else around that don't know. And this is the thing. People always, we can't have everybody attached to everything. That's the thing. You can't have too many chiefs and not enough Indians. Somebody got to be an Indian. And that's where we fall short, because you get a lot of bickering and talking, well, this was supposed to do this. And because you don't know the information of what was going on, you assume that they don't know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. But had you waited and talked to somebody that knew what was going on, oh, I'm in charge. Or, hey, they told me to handle this because they had such and such going on. You're not required for me to give you that response. You're not mm-hmm. required for me to give you the explanation, because you're not on the level of me when it comes down to this what we're doing. Right. Doesn't mean I'm bigger than you, I know more. It's just that I'm here and you're here when it comes to this situation. Mm-hmm. Let the roles reverse, and it's your event. Now I'm here. So you don't, and that's just how I am when it comes down to it. So like they say, it's always multiple sides to the story. So when it comes down to this, I do everything by the book. I try to anyway, and give everybody else an opportunity, because I don't know everything. But if I got it, ain't no need to me sitting on knowledge and tools that could be used to benefit me and somebody else, and they know how to do it. They just don't have the means to do it. That's crazy.
Right. And that's really dope that you said that, because like how you said, it's not about somebody being more, man, at the end of the day, stay in your lane. I mean, let's just period, point blank. You have people that have been in this game for so many years that still don't know the game. This is a business. And if you need to educate yourself, take the time out to educate yourself so that you can be able to make certain decisions or make certain calls or certain things. Because I know that I'm starting to see a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they're wanting to do something. Mm-hmm. But they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. But then the thing about it,
and they don't want the help because they think they know.
That's it. So you want to do something that I'm doing. But because I'm doing something that you are trying to do, Instead of you coming to shadow and learn from me or get the ends, because you never know. You want to do what I'm doing. You might give me the knowledge or the help that I need to better my situation.
You know.
But because instead of you asking me for help, you want to hate on me and go out here and badmouth me about something that's, you could have said, well, hey, next time do this, it probably help you out. Versus, oh, well, they just ain't, man.
Right.
It's what they call it, the crab in the barrel mentality?
Crab in the barrel.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Definitely. So, sounds like to me that one day you may have your own record label.
Well, I mean, I have my own, I do my own film and my own music. I don't promote them. I just promote my McNealy Entertainment and my McNealy Films. Because that's what I'm pretty much moving on. The music side, I haven't really pushed my McNealy music side because I'm still learning myself. I'm not going to put anybody, now I'll help anybody. I tell people all the time, like, you want to help me push my brand? Cool. I'm not putting nobody on no paperwork or none of that because I'm not where I need to be and I can't provide you something and we're in the same boat. Mm-hmm. I might have more resources, more finances than you, but at the end of the day, I'm still trying to get to the same goal you're trying to get to. So who am I to tell you, oh, let me lock you down and own your masters and all that? I ain't got time for it. Right. It's one of those things where if I believe in you, it shouldn't have to be a contract situation. If I have something that's going to benefit you, I should be able to give it to you and believe in you and push you. So that way, like I said, if you make it before I do, that you remember, you know what? I remember when Jarick was, hey, put me in contact with such and such or had me on here or looked out for me on this video and that junk went viral. That's all I want.
I mean, shoot, that sounds good to have want that, but we live, no offense, but we're living in the year 2022. About to be 2023. And people are not as, what's the word that I'm looking for? Don't expect that. You're being held to a standard where in hopes that this contract will help you to stay committed.
True.
To this negotiation that we have going on for a type of board deal.
Yeah.
So, but then you got the artists that's like, okay, I'm a sign, and then you can't make anybody do anything.
No, you can't. You can't make anybody do anything. You can't make nobody be dedicated. You can't make nobody have a drive. You can't make anybody, believe in themselves more, than you believe in yourself. Yeah. Like it don't make no sense. So it's like, to me, it's like I let everybody. My grandmother used to tell me something all the time. She said, you give people enough rope to hang themselves.
Well, how much rope? Because you seem pretty nice.
So the thing about it is it don't really necessarily have to be a lot of rope if you know how to tie a knot.
Oh yeah, and then you're in the military, so you got all types of crazy knots.
It don't take all that. And that's the thing about it. When when you've been in the trenches and you've been through trial and error, you might not know everything, but once you know, you don't do the same thing multiple times. So that's why I say, at the end of the day, if you leave somebody somewhere, you get them a contract, you put them in the right places, and they decide to go different, you let them go that way. Because all they're doing is showing you that they're not worth your time, your investment, and putting it on. Let them move themselves out of the way, and don't be... I used to do this. I used to get upset. Somebody I believe in artist-wise, and I want to push them so hard. And then it's like they find somebody else to click up with or somebody else that's going to pretty much rob them of their talent. But at the end of the day, that's on them. Mm-hmm. But I let them remove themselves so I don't have to deal with that headache. Because all that tells me is I was going to put money, time, and energy behind you. And as soon as the bigger, better deal came along, you was out the door. Mm. So I let you remove yourself so that God can replace you with whoever needs to be in it. And that's what's happening at the end of this year. Right. Everything is coming back full circle because 2023... I don't know what to tell these folks. So don't get ready to get lost. So
do you have any albums or EPs coming up?
So I just released my song Boogie. It came released that December the 8th. So it's actually doing pretty good. I actually am in the process of putting my live band together. So I'm actually going back to the drawing board and doing real R&B and real Southern soul. So I'm getting ready to have that grown and sexy vibe when it comes down to everything. So even with the songs that I have features on, I'm going to get them to where I can perform them live because I think it's just a different essence that nobody else has. Nobody's doing live anything besides like some of the bands like at Marley's. I love their band. Marley's band is off the chain. Mm-hmm. But nobody's really doing live band here locally when it comes down to singing. Nobody.
Is Boogie Is that joint you performed out there with the kid? That's
Yes.
kind of like a black drum artist.
Yeah, that song's
a hit, yo.
That song is it. I did that song because it reaches every demographic of people. Like, you can't tell me that you can't hear that on 104 Fox, 99.1, any radio station. Maybe not the rock and roll and country, but other than that, it's a song that can be played at any time, and whether it be your great grandmama, your grandmama, your kids, your mama, daddy, somebody's gonna relate to it. You have no reason not to. If you don't, you just having a bad day. You got to have, you're having a bad day.
Yeah, because like your performance, man, was immaculate.
And I do that because when I perform, I don't care if it's one person or a million people, I give the same energy. So when I observe my surroundings and it comes down to it, like when the kid was there, I've been watching him since Saturday. I watched him dap up all the artists on Saturday, and I mean, if nobody paid attention to that young man with that food truck, they should have paid attention to how you're supposed to support people. Because he supported everybody.
Yes, he did.
Everybody.
Yes, he did.
And I mean, it was like, the fact that he came up there with me, you know what I'm saying? I thought he wasn't going to dance. When he danced at the end, when the beat dropped, I was like, yes.
He made it.
He made it. I was like, yo, that touched I almost cried on stage. I ain't even going to lie to you, because that's the feeling that I wanted when I made that song.
Right.
So I thought y'all had that like orchestrated.
No.
Like,
that shit was dope, wasn't it?
The way he was like, I'm not gonna do it, but then he ran out there later and started dancing.
Yeah, like, no,
and
because I called him off guard, because he was actually supposed to go up there and be on stage with one of the other artists, and he got scared and said he wasn't gonna go out there. So he was playing basketball, and I was like, come here.
That's what's up. I loved how it went down.
Yeah, I loved it.
And I had the pleasure of being there when he actually came to you afterwards.
Yeah.
And gave you a hug. He was like, I am so, look, it was a beautiful thing, y'all. That little boy, he hugged me. He said, I am so thankful. You just made my life.
Right.
I was like, oh, this boy professional. Look at him. And my mom's like, go ahead now. It was just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, man. It's about the kids. That's the next generation. And if you can't, that's why I tell people, I love all type of music. Like, I do R&B. I do what I call R&G, which is rhythm and gangster. I can take to the streets with no problem. I do Southern soul. I mean, I write country. I do it all. But I try to make timeless music. And 10 years, 20 years down the road, I want to be able to have my music played and it still has some type of reference or feeling, or the same feeling it has when I first made it. I wanted to have that same type of initiation when it comes to people. So that's how I do my music. That's why I don't try to put out songs every day. I know they're like, well, you should put out at least 30-something songs a year, you know what I'm saying? And whichever one is moving, put a budget behind that. And that's cool for the industry people that got the backing, and they got writers and they got the money for all that. Because let's be honest, a lot of these artists are not writing all these songs, putting out 52 and 30 singles a year. They're not doing it. Like, they have writing teams for all that. So this is another thing, and I'm going to get off this. One thing about 2-6 artists I really want y'all to understand. Some of us got it, some of us don't. A lot of us have a great image, but our music does not fit our image. And some of us have great music with no image. And that's okay. You got to understand, what do you want to do? Do you want to be in the limelight, or do you want financial stability or generational wealth? Me, I want generational wealth. So if I know that I make good music, but I just don't have the image or the backing, but I know Neo and all them is already on, and they need writers. Why not write a song that I can get paid for, sitting at the house, sipping my tithes and taking my kids to Disney World? That's generational wealth. Now I can enjoy myself. Now, if they take my song and they want me to perform it, I'm still going to be there too. But that's where a lot of people, they miss it, man. I'm like, some of y'all just need ghostwriters. I got a writer. I ain't going to lie. When it comes down to some of my ballads, I'm not a big ballad person. As far as the emotional songs or the soulful songs, I can do them. Those real slow, I like to do a lot of words. You see how I talk fast. So when I sing with a lot of words. Man, my homeboy, shout out Dre Love, that boy's pen is retarded. So, but sometimes we just need that.
Right.
So that's another thing that I really want us to tap onto. I really want somebody to do a workshop and have somebody from the industry that knows what they're talking about to come tell y'all the same exact thing, because maybe y'all understand it.
It's summit.
Y'all sitting on man, this artists right now I know for a fact are sitting on millions of dollars. And they're gonna not see it because they want to be the face of the sound. And that's not what it is, man. It's about
Right.
Like, why not be able, if you're going to be in the street and hang out, why not be in the street and hang out, but actually be able to go from Fayetteville and go on vacation and do gangster shit somewhere else and come back home with the people and be like, oh man, y'all should have been with me. Oh, how you do that trip? Oh, that song I was trying to push, man, I sold that shit Universal, man. They gave me $3.2 million for that song.
Okay. Look.
Oh, man, you can have my whole catalog.
I was watching I want to say it was Vlad the other day, and it was Tiny T.I. wife, and she was just telling a story about how, like, when Escape was breaking up and her and Candy had the group, that No Scrubs was this TLC best-selling song. When the people came to them like, yo, we want to buy No Scrubs from you and give it to TLC, they fought it so bad because, you know, they was like, we solo now, we got to be out, this is a hit song. But she knows if they hadn't sold that to if they had performed at her,
right, it wouldn't have been the same.
It wouldn't have been as big as a hit.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's all it is. Sometimes you just gotta take a leap of faith. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is what it is. Like,
and she says she get fat checks to this day, and of course she do. You know.
Shit, I might have just stole all my lyrics. Anybody want some lyrics? Nah.
hey man, I'm trying to tell you, it ain't
for
even just
real.
about.
No.
But that's the thing. It's not even just about that. Nobody talks about sync licensing anymore.
What's that?
Sync licensing. Like when you watch Love and Hip Hop and all that stuff, that music and stuff on there.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's a sync license. So I know plenty of my songs that I can play on some of these reality TV shows. You know what I'm saying? So it's money out here. We as artists don't know how to get the money. So if nobody tells you how to get it, or somebody's withholding information, and you hating on this person, they can try to, man, that's the problem. Because I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to hit every movie, every TV show, all that. I want all that money. Because I don't want to have to be out here all day moving around. Like, man, these clothes expensive.
Right.
Like, it takes a lot of energy to be up and have to meet deadlines and be somewhere. But it don't take that much energy to be able to get up and do what you do, submit a song, and let them see if they want to use it or not. You still can push the song, but if it's not making any noise, find another way to try to push it. Because just because it's not being on the radio out there don't mean that it won't hit one of these Marvel films and be... How many times you done heard that song with Rihanna?
Oh yeah.
I'm tired of hearing it, and I love that song. But it's one of those.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah. And I was actually surprised that it was Rihanna singing that song. But yeah, I seen that. So what got you into doing into singing?
Believe it or not, man, I've been singing all my life. I was a born prophet at 8 years old, so I was used to preach and everything. Quartet was me. I done sung with some of the baddest quartet groups that came out. Paul Christopher and the Carolina Boys, Bobby Clark and the Gospel Ladies, been with Pee Wee and them, Bobby Clark Jr., Roy River. I done sung with some of everybody. And I shifted from there to R&B because I kind of like left the church kind of like alone, and that's a whole different story. But at the end of it, I left it alone because one thing about me is I'm not gonna straddle the fence. And if I don't feel like I'm gonna go fully in this area, I'm not gonna be lukewarm. So, because I don't want nobody to look at my life and see me from preaching or doing this and third and say, okay, well, it's okay to half and half. Because what I do in my life, you don't know my strength or what I'm going through in life. And you might do the same thing thinking that I'm doing the same thing as you, and it could lead you down the road to death. Just be it honest. So I got into music because I started the gospel, started doing R&B, but I still wanted to tell the story. I still wanted to touch people in a certain way. So that's why I try to make music that has a meaning to it. And I've been riding this thing out since I started singing and recording maybe I think when I was 14.
14. And this is when you was in Warrenburg?
14. Then I went in the Army, got out of the Army, and then I started back fully recording full time in 2018.
Dang. That's a long time.
Yeah.
It's a long time. But you had like that voice. A lot of people, they can sing, but I guess it's different when a lot of singers come from the church.
Yeah.
Because it's like you feel it differently.
Yeah.
And it could be the lyrics behind it as well, but it's definitely a felt a presence and a felt, you feel it or whatever when you're singing your song. So that's really dope. What can we expect from you in the next year to come?
So definitely dropping my Southern Soul project, And I'm definitely gonna be dropping this live R&B project, and I think it's gonna be dope because I'm not rushing it, and that's the biggest thing about me. I'm not rushing nothing. Like you might get a single in the beginning, you might wait to get the whole project. It just depends on how we come up with it and how it gets recorded. So y'all stay tuned for that because once this live project comes, we gonna have some grown and sexy events coming up.
Okay, wait to see it, man.
Grown and sexy.
You gonna have the little band, your
It's
big band going.
It's gonna be lit.
Yeah, this is gonna be really nice. It's a different vibe, different vibe, man. I really like that because like now I don't know many artists like that's singing, not males.
No,
not here in Fayetteville.
Not here anyway. Well, it's some. Believe it or not, I found out there's more R&B artists here.
I mean, shout out to Heat. Definitely shout out to Heat. He's he plays music and he's a dope artist. He's a B&P artist.
Yeah, so it's more R&B artists than I thought that were here. And I was like, yo, like what's his name? Baby Jit. Baby Jit actually can sing. You don't even know who he is, see? Baby Jit came to karaoke the other week and shut that junk down. He actually has a song that he redid, I think he redid Moray song. One of Moray songs. But
and if I do know who Baby Jit is, I apologize. It's just not right now.
Yeah, Baby Jit, this gentleman now on the name, by the name of Keith. I can't remember what Keith's last name. There's a couple R&B singers up here that's pretty dope. They just, like I said, when it comes to us singers, there's really not no platform for us. And I'm being honest because when it comes down to these showcases, we stand out at showcases because we sing. Because you got a lot of hip hop artists. The problem for that is, with us standing out, these labels aren't really looking for singers. They're looking for that Mo3, that melodic rap. That's what they consider R&B is right now. And that's cool. I ain't mad at them, but I can do that music. It's just not what I want to do. Now, if you need me to write your artists some music like that, I can do that all day, every day. I record a couple of tracks and drop them on so you can be like, oh, bro, we want it. And I'm like, nah, you can mind, because I'm not going to push it because it's not me. I can't be something that I'm not. So I'm a soulful guy. I'm trying to sing to y'all, the mamas, and everybody else.
That's so. Is there any motivational words that you like to give to people?
Don't be your own downfall. Don't be your own downfall, and everybody can't go where you going. You have to realize that early. Because it took me a long time to realize why certain people, we ain't cool no more, we ain't friends no more, like why family members aren't close like that. I had to realize that when I elevated, they weren't elevating with me. And it's a difference between if you have your child and you say, hey, I want you and your child to get on that bench. And you get your daughter on that bench and you ask your daughter to pull you up on that bench. How is she gonna do that? You weigh one more than her. The object is for you to get on the bench and pull her up. That's all. Some people aren't realizing you're trying to force something that ain't meant to be. Let that junk go. That's it. Right. You can't make this is it. You can't make a leaf a branch. You can't make a branch a root. It is what it is. A tree is built the way it is. You got fruit, you got leaves, you got limbs, you got roots. They're going to fall off in different seasons. When the storm comes, the branch is going to break off. Roots are always going to be there. You can't make people in your life be something they're not. That's it. Once we learn that, everything else in life will be simple because it makes sense. You can't force something to fit in somewhere it don't need to be.
Yo, he just spoke some real stuff. Do you hear me? Where can they find you?
You can follow me on all social media platforms at Jariquez. That's JARIQUES. You can find me on Facebook, Jariquez McNealy, or you can follow my McNealy Entertainment page.
Most definitely. I thank you.
Yes,
You're down. He's so good. Got Miss Jariquez in the building. Y'all, we keeping it a bando.
like
Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned in.